Hi, I'm Sandy Ray, founder of Sandra E. Ray CPA, where we alleviate financial headaches so that you can create a bigger impact. Today, we're going to talk to you about streamlining your finances through the QuickBooks Online Bank feeds. It's one of the best ways to improve your financial recording processes. It helps you in eliminating those manual entries. Not saying you're not going to have to tweak some things, but things do not have to be entered manually. It helps you with your reconciliations, and it's just really a game changer. So we're going to be focusing on QuickBooks Online, but the option is available in desktop and other software. I just want to show you in QuickBooks Online how this can work for you. So what are bank feeds? Bank feeds are a way for QuickBooks Online to automatically import your transactions from your bank's website. So these are real-time updates. Generally, they update overnight, but at any point in time, you can click the update button and it will update. It reduces your manual data entry because it brings in most of the information. Once it brings it in, then you're just managing your data. You're not doing a ton of data entry. It makes reconciliation easier too, because QuickBooks knows it came in from the bank. When you go to do the bank reconciliation, it already has those transactions marked off. And in addition to time savings, there's some accuracy improvement because we're not doing a lot of data entry. There's not a lot of clerical errors. So it saves us time and we're just more accurate. So I'm going to share my screen because I have pulled up the sample company and we're just going to go through this. So when you go into QuickBooks in the sample company, you're going to have this black banner over here. And if you go under transactions and bank transactions, you're going to get to this page right here. There's lots of things that you can do here. You can access other applications. If you're uploading receipts, you can go to the reconciliation page. We can create rules. We'll go over that in a moment. You can access your chart of accounts and your recurring entries. So that's a great way to do that. You can see that the banks that we have set up, including our credit card, are here. For right now, we're looking at the checking account. There's 24 transactions for us to review. This is a landing place. These transactions are not posted to QuickBooks yet. That's what you're going to be doing in managing these transactions. Once you've added or matched a transaction, it's going to go to the categorize section. And as you can see here, we have a transaction that's categorized. If we find at a later date that we've made an error in recording this transaction, we can very easily undo and it moves it back to the for reviewed, and then we can deal with it there. If there's a transaction that's a duplicate or for some reason we don't want to post it and we can't find the match, but just any reason that we don't want to post it, we can exclude that transaction, and the list of excluded transactions are here. And again, with excluded transactions, we can undo them as well. So the first thing you're going to do is connect your bank, and you're going to go under link account and manage connections. And I'm not going to go too far into this because it's a sample company and it's not real data and it's not actually going to let me do anything. But that's where you would go. You would select your bank, you would log into your bank through QuickBooks, and then you would match it to an account on your chart of accounts. Once you've done that, you can see this is linked to the checking account in the chart of accounts. So once you've done that, you can always update at any time by clicking the update button. Then we're going to go in and we're going to start looking at transactions, and QuickBooks and its AI are going to try to record transactions based on past history. Or it's going to look for a match in the system. Like here, this deposit, it found a match to a deposit on 6/6 for this amount. You can find other matches if you're interested by clicking that. and you can see other transactions to try to match to. Or for example, if there's 2 transactions in QuickBooks and 1 in the bank, sometimes you can click 2. If this is the match you want, the only thing you need to do is click match, and then it's recorded this transaction. And these items that are categorized are posted to your general ledger. And then, like I said, if we go to reconciliation, which is not set up, those items are already going to be in your bank reconciliation as marked off. I think I skipped over one thing when we're talking about linking our accounts. From time to time, these accounts will become unconnected to the bank. So you will have to reestablish those connections. Generally, it's a password change. If your bank requires 2-factor authentication, that can cause them to unlink. Or maybe your bank just doesn't allow QuickBooks to go in and pull those types of things. There are other things that we can do. We can upload the information from a file and it will put it here. So if you go to your bank and export transactions using a QBO export, which many banks have, you can save that onto your system, and then you would upload that file into QuickBooks and it will look exactly the same as this. So it really just takes a couple of clicks and you can see how much data entry by the information that it's bringing in that we're saving. Let me go to an expense here. Do we have, yeah, let's go to a rental. As you can see, we're looking to categorize it. We would want to select a vendor. Let's assume that it is a rental, Ellis Equipment Rental. And then we're going to go to equipment rental as an expense. Is it a job expense? Is it a sub-account of repairs and maintenance? Let's call it a job expense. If we prefer to do a product service code because this was a deposit, that would be there. If it's related to a customer or a project because of a grant, and then if it's a cost reimbursement grant, we can even mark it billable or not. And then we're going to add it. So I just entered that transaction. Really simple. Now, for the matches, like I said, it's going to look for transactions that are already in the system. So if you have other integrations, you're going to want to do those other integrations first, and then let the bank feeds find the match. If you know it's a transaction that's coming from another integration, you're not going to want to add it. You're going to want to go in here and click match, and it's going to give you those transactions to match up to it. Watch your date ranges, watch your account, those kinds of things. Sometimes it's hard to find a match, but they're there. Going through my notes here to make sure I'm covering everything. Again, when you've got these other integrations or you've manually entered some things, you want to make sure that you do not duplicate the data entry. Like I said, AI is going to try to learn how you do things. And you can see that because I did that one for equipment rental, now both of these are equipment rental. That's what it's suggesting. So you can click add, you can look at this, see if there's anything else, and click add. And click add. Now this one has 2 matches that it found the expense and it found a bill payment. You may have to do some more digging, but you can see that this Books by Bessie is not the same vendor that's coming through. So we probably want to choose Pam Seitzel and click add. So you see how many matches it's found. It's just really amazing the things that it can do. The other thing is rules. We can create rules. You get a utility bill, you pay your rent. In this situation, we've created a rule for insurance, where if something comes, the rule is called insurance and it's money going out, either the checking or the MasterCard. You could click savings and do all banks. And the description chain contains the bank text, the amount or the description. contains the letters INS, then we're going to assign this transaction as an expense. The expense account is insurance. We're not going to use a product service code. If this was a deposit, it would be money in and we could use a product service code. We're going to assign it to our insurance company. And if this is related to a grant and we have our grant set up as customers, we can select a customer or not. You just delete that. And then you can enter some text that you want to replace. And then you can decide whether you want this rule to automatically apply or by clicking this, or you can turn that off and the rule will apply, but it will still remain in the for review area. If you click automatic, when that transaction comes through, it will automatically post to QuickBooks. And then of course there's a test rule button so you can test the rule to see if it's going to do what you want it to do. So that's a really nice thing about that. So that's how easy and simple bank feeds are. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. I just want you to give it a try. Connect one bank account, play with it, see how it works, and then I guarantee you'll be trying to connect everything that you possibly can. It's just really easy and literally takes, for our firm, I go through our bank feeds every morning, takes me 5 to 10 minutes, whatever is going on, and the bookkeeping is done for the day. Literally, it's just that simple. I'm hoping that you give it a try. And if you have any questions or comments, please let us know. We're happy to answer those. Of course, we always appreciate your likes, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Remember, creating a bigger impact starts with stopping the nonsense. If you're dealing with nonsense in your nonprofit organization, we'd love to help you cut through the noise.